The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Welcome to the Q&A session on career opportunities in digital presented by Accenture. This is part of the overall Digital Month program run by Accenture on TechGig.com. This session is a perfect opportunity for you to get answers on careers in digital, not only in Accenture but also in the market in general. Accenture Digital, one of the Accenture's 4 growth platforms, offers business and technology services across interactive, mobility, and analytics to help business unleash the power of digital to drive growth and create a new source of value. Find out how you can be a part of the high-performing teams in Accenture Digital. Do start sending in your specific questions on digital career opportunities. Meanwhile, let me introduce the panelists for today's session, that is Sanjeev Vohra, Abhijit Kabra, and Rupesh Nair. Sanjeev is Managing Director and Digital Lead, Global Delivery Network with Accenture. Abhijit is Managing Director, Accenture Digital, India. Rupesh is Manager, Human Resources, Digital Practice with Accenture. So, without further delay, I introduce you all to our guest speaker. Over to you, Sanjeev. Sanjeev, you are on mute. Please unmute yourself and you can take over the session.
That always happens when you put yourself on mute. Thanks very much, Aradhana, and it's a pleasure to be here today. Hello, everyone. It's been a while. I was last time when I was in TechGig was a couple of months back. We have been very active on TechGig since February, talking about digital technologies and our business in that space. And today we have a very specific session. Our today's session is largely on people who have requested us to talk about our career opportunities in Accenture and how they can join us and our practice here, who are creating immense values for our clients and creating solutions for them using these new technologies and emerging technologies. So large part of today's session will be on a Q&A, which means that we really want to answer your questions. That's our intent. We don't want to talk about technology in this session, but what I thought was to make sure that Abhijit and I, both of us, provide you initial view on what we believe is digital technologies, and so that you so it helps you to level set in terms of what are we looking for, right? We really want to share some initial few minutes, spend some initial few minutes talking to you about what are we looking at, and then we get into a specific questions that you may have in mind that we will try our best to answer today. So if you see the slide in front of you, very briefly, this is what we mean by digital, right? So if I have to explain you what is digital, then you have to just play back 20, 30 years down the line. They were mainframe computing era, right? If you remember, in 70s and 80s, and which went to client server in 90s, and then it was internet. As we moved into 2000, and what we believe this is the era which is new evolution of technology, which is digital technologies, and this involves all the things which are you're seeing in this chart, which include things like big data analytics, as you may have heard from many sources earlier, or maybe participating yourself in that area. Cloud, which includes platform cloud or infrastructure cloud or software as a service. It includes mobility, and then social elements to it, right? So social tools and techniques as well. All this are the areas which are sitting nowadays on a traditional legacy in ERP systems to make businesses more and more effective, and that's what we're calling it digital technologies and digital practice. We have around 23,000 people globally in this practice. Large part of the people, and India is a large node in that practice, and we are growing at a very expansive rate. If you can move to the next slide. And this slide just gives you a gravity and sense of the chain that we foresee in the marketplace as we go along. With all the connected devices, which includes all your phones, smartphones, and everything else, and all your wearable devices as well. and you look at the data, the explosion of data that is happening right now in the marketplace, that is all going to lead to a massive change in terms of how business will operate and how our lives will change over the next few years. This graphic suggests to you the change in these specific technologies and the specific connection points. But what it means to us is using these technologies effectively and making sure that we help our clients and our clients to be more effective in their businesses, either expanding their revenues and their markets, or helping them get more capital efficiency so they can be more productive in the future. With that, I'll just hand over to Abhijit, and then we will go into Q&A.
Thank you, Sanjeev, and good afternoon, everyone. Those of you who've joined on this call, it's my pleasure to take you through some of Accenture's digital thinking. What is our vision? What is our strategy? And what is making us so successful in the digital marketplace? So out here on this slide, you see how we are segmenting the market in two major segments. Okay, Accenture is going to the market in two major segments. One, on the left-hand side, you see digital customers, channels, and markets. What it means is essentially these are people like you and me, the end consumers, and we are leveraging digital technologies in our day-to-day lives, and using digital technologies to operate the way we operate our daily affairs. So for example, if I have to go and make some payments, I use my handset, and I leverage digital banking application that is on my handset, and things of this nature, right? I go and order something using my tab. Okay, online, I place an order for shoes or clothes or whatnot. Yeah, so that's one market segment. We call those digital customers. And then the other market segment is basically digital enterprises. So there are these big companies, enterprises, who are running their enterprise softwares, and each one of these softwares are now getting extended to digital, or they are leveraging digital technologies to again run their internal operations, run their businesses. So things like HR approvals, leave approvals, workforce management, Salesforce automation, or order logging from the field, workforce management, and these kind of things that in our offices make our lives simpler, better by using digital technologies. So typically the business decision makers in this segment of market is CIOs or the chief digital officers nowadays, right? So Accenture has been very, very strong in both of these market segments thanks to some of our recent acquisitions. If you go and visit our websites, in the digital section, you will see that we have acquired around 6 companies in the digital space in the last 5 years, and each one of these acquisitions have been very, very successful for us, and again have helped us grow our presence in the market. Now, with that kind of inorganic and organic growth happening, currently our primary priority really is to grow the capabilities, grow the strengths, and bring in digital talent into Accenture, and that is our topmost priority for both me and Sanjeev, to be able to run our business and to be able to meet our financial targets for this financial year. Out here on this slide, you see some of the representative roles, some of the areas where we have been, recruiting, where we have been growing, and this is where we have been looking for strong talent, industry experts. So big data specialists, data scientists, e-commerce specialists, and technology architects, cutting across these multiple technologies, across the entire SMAC stack that Sanjeev mentioned earlier on. Not only do we need strong, good people who understand, good development techniques or testing techniques or QA and so on, but also we need people who understand how to architect a software feature or software application. That's one. And on the other hand, we are also looking for people who who bring in specific industry knowledge, specific industry insights. So for example, we would love to have somebody who understands how digital works in retail industry. So somebody who's specializing in retail industry, leveraging these detailed digital technologies would be something that we are looking for. So in short, we are looking for people who are, not only technologists, but also somebody who can bring in specific industry experience. And we are investing a lot in terms of building these technologies or building these expertise within Accenture, and investing a lot in terms of creating specific training programs for people like yourselves who eventually end up joining Accenture. There's a lot happening in Accenture Digital. The market is very hot, and we are seeing tremendous traction from all our customers in all these industry areas. And right now, that is what is making us grow very, very rapidly in this space. So with that, I will take a pause here and probably give it back to the moderator for question and answers.
Thanks, Sanjeev. Hi all, this is Rupesh Nair. I'm the HR manager for the digital practice within Accenture. Over the last few days, we've already received some valid questions from most of you all. We've shortlisted the most commonly asked questions and then the most relevant questions. So without much delay, I'll start channelizing these questions to both our speakers. Sanjeev, if I may ask the first question, or rather direct the first question to you. The first question is, how is digital marketing going to get affected by this extensive acceptance of digital skills?
So if I read the question properly, or if I listen to the question properly, I think my view is that it's already impacted. I mean, if you look at the use of these technologies in the marketplace and the consumption of these technologies, it started with digital marketing. And the reason is very specific because that's a place where which actually helps companies to expand their businesses. So it was more close to a CMO agenda, if you may, the marketing agenda. So we have right now in our company we have extensive work going on in the space. We have many engagements and many clients that we're working in the Fortune 100 clients for whom we have developed and maintaining solutions on digital marketing, which includes things like managing the marketing spend for the CMO and their teams, doing analytics on top of their database, enterprise data, as well as unstructured data coming from various feeds like Twitter, Facebook, and so on and so forth, and providing them view in terms of how they can forecast their products and services much better than they have done in the past, which leads to expansion of their revenues and growing into new marketplace. So in my view, there's extensive use already in this space. What we need to see in the future is how these technologies are going to be used for things like operations and supply chain and so on and so forth. But marketing is already, in my view, is no more in incubation. It's already in a growth trajectory in most of the organization. Back to you, Rupesh. I think you're on mute.
Yeah, sorry. Thanks for that. I'll probably direct the next question as well to you, Sanjeev. How would digital technologies change the way we solution and deliver a business opportunity?
So digital technologies surely will have its implication in the delivery cycle, life cycle, if I may, right? And I think that probably is the intent of this question as well. It will change a lot. So in terms of how we take requirements for developing these new technology solutions, and how do we deploy these solutions as well. The need of the business is to increase the speed of these solutions and its deployment than in a conventional solution that we have built for years and years, if you may. The need is to build a solution in 3 to 6 months time frame, deploy it, and then see what is impact on the field. So there is a need for agility, and that drives a different way of building the solutions. So we see more and more usage of agile development methodology for building the solutions and deploying it than the conventional waterfall, if you may, and that has to be done in a very effective manner, right? Ensuring the right quality, right integration with the backend systems, which could be legacy or an ERP, and doing it at pace. So I see, and with that comes differentiated skills as well. So from a delivery perspective, we would need people like the Scrum Masters. We will require people who understand how to deliver work in this fashion. People who would do testing in a very different model. We may foresee even doing some piece of work by using crowdsourcing, if you may, right, in the future. So I see a major implication in delivery models as we go along while developing the solutions in the future, and we need to be just ready for embracing the change that may be coming in faster than we have ever anticipated earlier.
Sure, Sanjeev. Thank you. Abhijit, next question for you. How can one get into digital testing?
Okay. I think it's very simple. So first and foremost, you need to understand testing. You need to be a good tester fundamentally, right? And digital testing is not very different. So as long as you understand testing good, then you are best qualified or best suited to get into digital. Now, to be able to get into digital, what you as a tester or what you as a QA expert need to start understanding or thinking is using these technologies, how the end application or end service or feature is going to be used by the end user, right? And based on that, you need to start devising your testing strategy or your test scenario or test conditions. And this is more important in digital space because there are multiple gadgets sitting on internet. There are enormous amount of interactivity that is happening across these different gadgets or different applications that are sitting on the whole smack stack there, right? So what really is important or what is a good tester in digital space is really somebody who can think of all these various scenarios and proactively be able to test all these different scenarios that would be faced or that would be exercised by the end user or by the end application. So as long as you are able to think through those kind of scenarios, you are able to apply your intelligence in that space, I think any tester can become digital tester very easily, very soon. And again, we have internal training programs targeted towards taking a good tester in traditional technology areas and how can we transition that person into digital testing expertise area.
Sure. Thanks, Abhijit. And next question again for you. It's a little more specific to a particular skill. People would like to understand the opportunities with respect to HTML5, and if we have opportunities within India and various cities like Chennai, Bangalore, Pune, etc.
Yeah, I think good question. Again, in digital space, there are multiple gadgets, multiple devices, and there are multiple presentation layers, right? And they are continuing to coexist in the market, right? You cannot say that, okay, Android is the only operating system or Android is the only presentation layer that will exist in the market and others will not exist. That's not going to happen very soon. And that because of that, then cross-platform technologies like HTML5 are gaining a lot of traction in the market. I see every client of ours asking for development using cross-platform technologies like HTML5, and hence, I would really say that the market is really hot. Client space or opportunities for HTML5 are really, really strong, very good. At any given point of time, HTML5 is a skill I'm always sort of looking for, adding more and more into my teams, right? Now, coming to your location question, Accenture actually has offices in all the major cities in India, and we continue to expand across all these locations. So, including Chennai, there are other locations like Bangalore, Hyderabad, Pune, Mumbai, Gurgaon, even recent addition of Kolkata Delivery Center. Again, we are growing there as well. So all of these locations are open for new additions in digital space.
Sure. A related question. Would you like to throw some light on the onshore opportunities as well in the digital technologies space?
Yeah. Yeah, again, as Sanjeev was referring earlier on, we operate in a global delivery network. What it means is that across various countries, we have our delivery centers, right? And each of these centers really fundamentally works on same development framework or same development methodologies. As a result of that, what is happening is it is very common for some of our people who are originally originally joined Indian offices or are from India. They are finding themselves going to other locations where the client demand is, and we are also having situations where some of our other colleagues from Western countries are coming to India, because we operate as one global delivery center, one global delivery network. As a result, I mean, we have a very strong global career program. We call it GCP. It's a very, very strong program. As part of that, individuals can avail of this benefit and, can apply for roles in any other country of their choice, as long as we have a GCP program or as long as we have Accenture Delivery Center within a given country. As of today, we have about our delivery centers in about 55 countries. So, there are quite a few global roles that are available, and some of our Indian colleagues are able to, fulfill those roles, and those programs are made available to them via our GCP program.
Sure, thanks, Abhijit. Sanjeev, back to you. This question is on, are there other organizations that have digital opening, or is Accenture pioneer for this in the market?
The landscape is pretty evolving, so I would assume there are openings everywhere else as well. So in these technology areas, it does that our position in the marketplace is about digital rather than specific technologies, and the reason is very clear to me because none of these technologies in isolation can make and manage end-to-end service or solution to a client. If you look at any particular solution that we are serving to our clients and that we're building for our clients, that involves all these technologies coming together, and like Vijit said, then integrating back to the main systems and a back-end system, which is actually very critical because unless you get the right data, integrate the right data sources, which is coming from enterprise, you cannot get the returns that you really want from the investments. So when people say that we are building a mobile application and it takes us 4 weeks to build that, which is true, by the way, the mobile application doesn't take much time to build, but can that generate 2% lift on the revenue? That won't happen, right, for a large organization. So what it requires is a full end-to-end solution, and hence our position to market is more digital. Like Abhijit was mentioning, we have something called a digital academy in our company, which means that we don't train people only in one specific skills, but we give a person entire experience, which means training the people on domain, which means that you can be an e-commerce person. So you need to understand the e-commerce as a domain, not only a technology called Hybris or X or Y, right, or WCS or something else. And the same thing applicable for cross-skill as well. We would like people to be trained in multiple skill areas so that when they build a solution, they can have a holistic view of how to bring it together and stitch it together for our clients. I hope I answered the question, Rupesh.
Yes, Sanjeev.
Back to you, Rupesh.
Yes, thanks, Sanjeev. The next question, if I can direct this to Abhijit, what are the skills and roles with high demand within the analytics capability?
Actually, really speaking, entire gamut of activities, because digital is a space where analytics has taken a very significant importance. in earlier days when digital technologies were not so prevalent, the data was not available online. Data was not being assessed or analyzed, in real time, in terms of real-time analysis. Yeah, and then now because of this digital technology, not only do you have data available to you for analysis in real time, but you are also able to take certain decision and drive certain control actions back to the end user. For example, things like location-based advertising and so on and so forth, right? So analytics is actually continuing to grow and will continue to grow in digital space, and as such we are actually looking for people in the entire analytics space, may it be advanced analytics or predictive analytics, and the whole range of analytics space.
Sure. Abhijit, staying with you on that, there are a lot of questions which has come over the last 20 minutes and over the last few days with respect to career opportunities for fresher graduates, right, within the digital space. If you can just throw some light on that, that would be of great help for the participants.
Yeah, actually, my daughter is in final year of computer science engineering. I consider that she is more digital savvy than I am, right? So, by nature, digital technologies are such that, the young crowd, young talent, young people are really, they are the better consumers, they are the better appreciators of these digital technologies. As such, we continue to acquire fresh talent into our organization. At any given point of time, or on any given academic year, majority of our intake actually comprises of fresh graduates, and that would be the case even next few years.
Sure. Thanks, Abhijit. I'm sure a lot of participants found that useful. Sanjeev, there's a very interesting question that's just come on the pop-up window which I couldn't resist directing to you. The question is, why a different organization called Digital? Wasn't Accenture already working in these areas?
Yes, we were, and that's a great question. I think I partly answered that question while I spoke last time, during answering the last question. But yes, we've been operating on various of these technologies for the last many years. We had invested in these technologies much ahead than our competition in the marketplace. In 2005 and 6, we released our tech vision talking about these technologies much earlier than it was hitting the marketplace. We release Accenture Tech Vision every year, so it's an annual publication from Accenture. It's available on our portal. Anybody can go to accenture.com and download or read that particular publication. And this was done long back, right? So we built something called as our key strategic growth initiatives, and that was sponsored by our CEO. And we invested a huge amount of time, effort, and energy to build those practices over the last many years. Last December, which is the last December, we actually brought all of them together under one single umbrella, and that's what we're calling as digital. And that's where we started a new business called Digital Business. So if you look at our tagline, which used to be till December, it used to be consulting, technology and outsourcing, is now changed, and we have digital as a key element in our tagline. So it's called as strategy, digital, technology, and operations now. So it is a big business for us now. Why did we bring it together? I think I gave that answer earlier, that these technologies in isolation cannot help in transforming the businesses, and that's what we are looking forward for. Our end goal is to make sure that we leverage these technologies and help our clients transform their business and help their clients be more effective and be more high performing in their own spaces and their own markets. And that can only happen when you bring all this together to create a solution which is more end-to-end. Back to you, Vish.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Sanjeev. Abhijit, there is a specific question on mobile app, and no better person than you to pick this question. The question is, I would like to know what's the scope in coming days for mobile app developer. So I think the question is more around what are the opportunities that people have to look forward to in the mobile application space, within the mobility space?
If I were to answer it in one single word, the answer is tremendous opportunities. Okay, mobile applications, as I was mentioning earlier on, are here to stay. Okay, nowadays actually a lot of things are getting replaced by mobile applications. So you would have seen, Google acquiring this company called Nest. Nest is a company actually focusing really on air conditioning within houses and offices and overall buildings and so on, right? Now Google is creating an application which will run on Android operating system, which will then allow me as an end user to control some of the air conditioning equipments in my house or in my office and stuff like that. So there are these kind of machines that are getting replaced by applications. You look at Standard Chartered Bank in Western countries, they have already launched an application which captures the photograph of a check, and then you don't have to physically deposit the check in the bank, just this photograph over your handset and over the wireless network can go to the bank's backend software, and your money from the check can get credited to your bank account. So here's the thing where applications are replacing banks, or application replacing physical things like checks. Okay, applications are replacing things like taxi services. And you have lots of applications that are coming out in the market which will allow you to find the nearest online taxi driver. You send a ping to that person, and this application will give a request. The request will pop up on the nearest taxi driver on his mobile applications. Thereby, you are doing away with the entire taxi calling service or taxi calling help desks and things like that. So applications are actually trying to do a lot of things and replace our conventional activities, and as such mobile applications will continue to grow. It will continue to be multi-purpose, and will play a significant role in our day-to-day lives. And as such, opportunities for application developers are huge. All that is really needed is for somebody to really start thinking smartly, thinking out of the box, and how can you convert this particular scenario into an application that will be used by people like us.
Hello?
Yeah, Rupesh, I think there's some background noise with the moderator. Yeah, we are good, Rupesh.
Hello, Rupesh. Are you able to hear us?
Oh, yes, I can. Can you all hear me?
Yes, your voice is loud and clear. Please continue.
Sure, thanks, Avjit. I'll take the next question, which has come again from the pop-up window. This question is coming in from a gentleman by name Ajay Kumar. Question is, are clients transitioning legacy systems to digital channels? And if yes, which industry is seeing high demand? I'm sure both of you have points to add here, so probably Sanjeev, do you want to start, and maybe Abhijit can add on?
Sure, I think the answer is yes. I think, but it entirely depends on what they really want to transform, right? So what we are seeing right now is that the new investments are going in the new areas, which means they want to add to what they already have. And the changes that they're doing in their current legacy systems are the areas where they want to see a massive impact, right? So, so many examples around that, frankly. So there could be examples around CRM systems. There could be examples around, on the BI stack, massive examples of BI stacks where they really want to change the data warehouses which they had earlier, which they invested for a huge number of years, and look at big data, look at Hadoop, look at new technologies which can actually help them get the data at speed and at the right place at the right time for making informed decisions, which could be for the transaction or it could be for the reporting as well. for both. The industry uptake, I think we see now most industries are on the bandwagon. But if you look at early adopters, they were the initial adopters of the industry which were under pressure as well, right? As you can appreciate. So retail, financial services, high-tech companies were the initial companies which started with using these technologies. But now we see many of the resources companies and what you call renewable energy and utilities companies on the bandwagon, and the similar thing for consumer goods and automotive and so on and so forth. We are doing extraordinary work with many of the clients, and Abhijit can share one or two examples. But the one example which comes to my mind is very profound. We are doing a work for a utility company which has pumps and reservoirs across the country. And what we're doing is we're putting sensors right now across the entire pipeline to measure the flow and pressure of the water at any point of time, and provide real-time analytics to the operations managers to control and regulate the supply of the critical resource that's water across various townships and counties. Right, so that's extraordinary project which will lead to a huge amount of saving, for our clients, which goes pretty much in the same direction we were talking earlier in terms of helping and transforming their businesses and making them more productive by using big data, analytics, visualization, sensors, and all the stuff, right? Abhijit, do you want to say something on anything else that comes to mind?
No, I think you covered. There are very, very new, interesting use cases that are coming in, and they're coming in every facet, every industry. So we see that's happening in banking. We see that's happening in restaurants and hotels. Nowadays, you are able to book your rooms using applications on your handset. Fare management again is a big area for us. Where your mobile phones are acting like tickets, right? You use your mobile phone, you tap it, and the metro train stations allow you entry into the railway stations and stuff like that. So it is all pervasive really. Digital is cutting across all industries. I don't think there is one single industry you can say that this is where digital is not yet penetrated. That's not the case at all. Rupesh, I think you are on mute.
Sorry. The next question is from somebody by name Prasanjeet Raut. Question is, what is the scope for certified enterprise architects with Accenture Digital? Abhijit, do you want to pick that question?
Yeah, I think again, enterprise architects are something that are not available in abundance. As Sanjeev was mentioning, right, digital is a space where multiple technologies need to come together to form one single solution. To solve one specific business problem, you need to bring in multiple technologies together and multiple entities also together. So let's take example of mobile payment, right? You need to have bank, you need to have handset maker, you need to have the payment gateways, you need to have some person providing encryption, decryption, securities, and all that. So these multiple technology towers as well as multiple entities in the market have to come together to form one single solution, right? And when these kind of technologies need to be brought together, it is this kind of enterprise architects who have to think through as to how can they mix and match these technologies, how can they stitch all of these pieces together to form one single business solution that can be taken to our clients. As such, the enterprise architects have tremendous advantage, or have a good scope in terms of what digital market is looking for.
Sure. Sanjeev, pulling you back, here's a question from Manoj Dikshit. His question is application modernization and transformation like moving to cloud or big data solution part of Accenture part of digital in Accenture?
Yes, I think anything to do with transformation is part of digital. So we will have many clients that are looking at transforming their uh, legacy systems if they're transforming from X to X platform, let's say, to let's say big data, right? So they will require help in doing that. There will be other platforms as well. For example, transforming to platform as a service. So they may be transferred. Let's say they want to move a data from X to Force.com, right? So because they are into Salesforce.com as a CRM solution. If they have to do it, obviously we'll help them do that activity. So there are many solutions like that, depending on what is client's current landscape and what kind of a tool set they are going to be using it for, for their future. The short answer is yes, Rupesh.
Thanks, Sanjeev. Interesting question here from Shashank Saraf. What is the scope of Accenture digital and industrial and smart home connectivity? Abhijit, you may want to pick, and I'm sure Sanjeev will have some.
Yeah, correct. So again, something that is not necessarily obvious when you say digital, but Accenture's digital scope does include things like machine-to-machine Internet of Things and connected cities, connected industries, and automation and industrial automation and stuff like that. We've recently acquired a company in Europe which is specializing in exactly this area. As such, we have a very specific offering called Accenture Industrial Software Services, and what you are describing is part of that specific offer set that we already have in the marketplace. Again, this is something very interesting area. People are experimenting, but experimenting in a big way. So you have certain Asian countries who want to completely modernize the entire city. So they call it smart city initiative. You have some small pockets here in India as well. So some of you would have heard about this place called Lavasa near Mumbai and Pune. Again, Lavasa has smart houses where all of these digital technologies are leveraged, and the experience of you as the resident of that house or that building is phenomenal. So again, this is a very promising area. Countries like India, will take this up a little slower than other Western countries, but again, in Western countries, this is already going very fast track.
Yeah, and I think we are engaged in a lot of things which obviously we cannot share right now, because they're too premature to discuss at this forum. But a lot of smart stuff going on. So the smart car, smart utilities, smart citizen, smart houses, and then one thing which I think most of you may have seen and read recently is, let's say, smart banking, right? So I'm assuming that all of you are aware of State Bank of India, which is the largest bank in India, public bank, and they have recently launched something called as Bank in a Mall, right? Which means that you go to a mall and you have a digital bank there, where you can go and you can actually register yourself in the bank. You can open an account and you can get your debit card printed there itself at an automatic desk, let's say, or a manless desk, and that can all happen in 15 minutes time frame, right? So if you have seen that and experienced that, that's something which Accenture has helped SBI to deliver, right? So we have been behind building that digital experience, working with SBI. So that kind of a work is going on, not even in India as well. So there's a lot of more to come.
Sure.
Back to you, Fish.
Next question. Sure. Next question is on big data projects. This is from Ashish Chaudhary. Question is, are big data projects coming of age, or companies are still experimenting with smaller assignments? Sanjeev, do you want to pick first?
I think big data, the problem is understood. The use case, as Abhijit said, is extremely important. Unless you have a right use case, you don't draw the benefits of buying new hardware, new software, new database, and so on and so forth. And then there is a new Gartner hype cycle, if you have seen that. I mean, that suggests big data somewhere else. But in reality is that the big data is now being understood by clients. It is no more just technology buzzword, if you may. And people now start appreciating as to how they can actually use it to get something out of it, which makes business sense. So we do see some large enterprises now adopting these new technologies. In fact, I was in San Jose last week and met a lot of vendors and software companies which are in this space, and there's a lot of innovation going on there, which can change the way we process and consume data for making more effective business decisions going forward. So I see a huge potential of using big data, or let's say the analytics piece, and on top of it, right, in the future. But by the way, big data in itself is nothing in my view. It is all about bringing a full solution together that actually helps us to make sure that we drive benefits and results. Big data is just a component of that, which is obviously the most important component in terms of getting the speed of processing data, which has never happened before.
Thanks, Sanjeev. Abhijit, there are a lot of questions around cross-skilling, right? There are various questions coming around to say, I'm in Java skill, how can I get into digital? I'm in XYZ skill, which is not digital, but how can I get into digital skill? So if you can just convey your point of view with respect to cross-skilling in the digital practice as such.
Yeah. Now again, very pertinent question because overall the technology landscape within digital is constantly evolving. Certain technologies that were not really prevalent yesterday suddenly become very important today, and tomorrow the technology landscape would be further different from what it is today, right? So reskilling is a continuous process, especially in digital. In a way, it keeps us on our toes. Our people have to continuously adapt and learn new technologies and keep building this expertise in the newer technologies that are emerging. Yeah. As a result of that, we as Accenture also having very specialized reskilling programs like Digital Academy that Sanjeev mentioned earlier on. The focus of this is 2-3 areas. Number one, if you are already expert in one digital area, right, how can you also acquire knowledge or expertise in other adjacent digital areas? For example, if you are a mobility expert, how can you also start understanding analytics or e-commerce? Because as I was mentioning earlier, digital now is really the best use of digital is really by mixing up these technologies and leveraging the combined power of these technologies. As such, you as a developer or you as a digital employee or a team member, you need to be aware of other adjacent technologies, and that's where we invest a lot, and there are special training programs designed to make sure that you are able to acquire knowledge in other domains as well. Then there are other programs which are targeted towards taking certain base skills. For example, you mentioned Java expertise, right? So we take people with certain basic expertise, and then on top of that we have digital specific domain training, so that over a period of time classroom training followed by on-the-job training and then shadow program, a combination of all these three then would start making you become an independent digital expert. So it's a very structured process within Accenture, and depending upon where are you in this journey, it would be anywhere between 1 month to 6 months training program for you to start becoming an independent digital expert in a given area. Long story short, reskilling is business as usual. I mean, that is something that is continuously needed. That is because of the nature of digital industry itself.
Sure. Staying with you, Abhijit, next question is, how does the role of a pre-sales consultant or a solution architect differ now for a digital skill vis-a-vis a non-digital skill?
To some extent it differs in the sense that some of these mature technologies, many times client themselves have lot of understanding and lot of insights, and they are able to pinpoint their problem statements, and then they are also many times able to tell you that, look, for this problem I need so and so technology, so with this CRM or so and so commercially available package, you, Mr. Accenture, can you come and help me implement that package, or come and implement this functionality for me. In case of digital, that's not at all the case, right? Many times our clients are still figuring it out. The market is also in experimental mode, right? So there is no single technology or no one-size-fits-all kind of a solution available, and a lot of things are still emerging. As a result, our clients need a lot of help, or the pre-sales actually happens very, very collaborative, in a very collaborative manner, wherein we have to sit with the customers, we have to understand their business situation, and then jointly come up with what is the common business problem that we need to be targeting and solving together. Okay, so it's a lot of collaborative and working through clients and crystallizing their problem statements, and then look at what is the best of breed technology solution that would be suitable for our clients' current situation, and come up with a sort of a roadmap, and then you implement it. As a result of that, actually, I would say that the pre-sales and solution architect's role is very, very crucial, and it starts from very early, and many times it's also goes into the area of conceptualization and ideation with the client, and then coming to the regular standard pre-sales and so on and so forth.
Sure, thanks, Abhijit. Sanjeev, there's a question, there are many questions in fact around the demand outburst in the digital space, right? All of the players out there are hiring in leaps and bounds in digital. So the question is more around, according to you, what would be the roadmap for digital technologies over the next 2 years horizon? And how do you see this demand outburst spanning out over the next 1 to 2 years?
So I think next 2 years are going to be very promising for these technologies, because that's how I think. So not even 2 years, maybe like I would say a 5-year horizon, frankly, right? 2 to 5 years, where we see a major adoption of these technologies for right use in the field. So so a lot of work will happen in this area, and then a lot of talent will be retooled and reskilled. I think that's what I see in the IT landscape. So many people who are in a conventional BI space, they will still have those skills, but they will transform themselves into things like analytics or data science or big data and Hadoop and everything else, or visualization, right? Things like Tableau and Click and everything else. Because that's how the new BI will look like in the future. BI will not be the traditional ETL and warehouses, but it will move to a very different space for our clients and for all of us, frankly, in our own uses as well. The same applies to mobility and other areas as well. So I think I see a major uplift in the next 2 to 5 years down the line for people who would like to build their careers in this space, and people who like to transform themselves from wherever they are right now to understand more about technology and the new stuff which is coming up. It is the place. It is the right time for the people in technology.
Sure. There's a question from Rajeshwari Iyer. This is specific to Accenture Interactive. The question is Accenture Interactive's role as part of a strategic pillar in Accenture Digital. What's the significance of Accenture Interactive within the Accenture Digital framework? So, Abhijit, do you want to pick, and probably Sanjeev can add?
Yeah, we can. I think
Accenture. Okay, go ahead.
I was saying it's Accenture Interactive. The way we see Interactive is that's a customer-facing business for us, which means when I say customer, means the customer side of the world, which means our client's customer, if you may. So if you're a retail, then your customers are all the people who are coming to your websites or your brick and mortar stores, right? If you're in a consumer goods, then all the people who are drinking your stuff or eating your stuff, and so on and so forth. So the interactive space is largely focused on our creative side of the world, which means how do we create the front end piece for our clients. We create a front end, do things like campaign management, do things like our setting their e-commerce journey, putting the content management for them, like I just said. And so that's a business we call it interactive, right? So anything which we do, especially for our CMO or chief marketing officer in any of our clients' organization, that is done by our Accenture Interactive practice. Sorry, Abhijit, you were saying, I just stepped in because I thought you wanted to comment on.
No, you.
Rupesh? We have, Rupesh, a couple of minutes left, so you may have the last question, or you want to summarize, sure, whichever is easier.
Yeah, I'll probably just take one or two more questions. Again, mobility related. What are the opportunities in Hadoop is one question. And there is another question, which is to say there are multiple cross-platform development tools like PhoneGap and Accelerator. Which tool out of this has high demand?
Okay, I'll take the second question first, and Sanjeev can take the first question. So, PhoneGap, Accelerator, and various other tools that are available in the market. Typically, Accenture's strategy is to continuously evaluate these tools and have a very clear understanding of what are the strengths and what are the benefits of these tools in what specific contexts. And like in case of many other digital technologies, there is no one size fits all kind of a solution here. So I wouldn't really say that there is one particular tool that has the highest demand and so tool does not have any demand. I think depending upon the context, depending upon the problem statement of your client, you need to be able to choose the right tool that is fit for that particular purpose. As a result of that, actually Accenture is really working on all of these technologies. We may have our own preferences. Typically we work with our top 6 or 7 partners in this particular space, and all these tools are really good, and they have reasonably good market share, and we see clients leveraging all of them in their own specific context.
Sanjeev, do you want to cover the Hadoop part in a quick minute?
Yes, definitely, and it's and Hadoop is also very evolving space. It's I think you're looking for building a. We have a good practice already in place, but we're going to expand it significantly in next year. So anybody who's interested in that space, there's a huge amount of work coming up. Again, I can't share more than that right now in this conversation, but huge amount of offerings that we are going to be putting in play, and it will give people the chance to work in a very niche area and learn a lot. We already have 950 data scientists, by the way, with us, so it's a huge practice we have in this space. We will be spending more and more time to make sure that we build the platforms and make them available for our clients.
Thank you very much, Sanjeev. And we are on top of the hour. thank you very much for all participants for putting in your questions. I hope you found this session useful and interactive. Look forward to connecting with you all in the near future. Thank you very much on behalf of Accenture.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
And I'm really thankful to our guest speakers today for conducting this informative Q&A with us. It was indeed a great session. I would also like to thank all our participants for their support in making this Q&A a success. The recording of the Q&A will be available on techgig.com by tomorrow. Thank you all for joining us today. Thank you, Abhijit. Thank you, Sanjeev. Thank you, Rupesh, for taking the time out. I hope you have a great evening ahead.